Hey, I'm Tron. Welcome to Word. The Word, or the Holy Bible, is the book of this video series. It has over 5 billion copies sold and distributed worldwide. It is a collection of 66 subsections or books and is divided into 39 Old Testament books and 27 New Testament books. The Bible has 1,189 chapters and a total of 31,102 verses. In other words, it would take over 85 years to complete a verse a day. Probably a little bit longer than the average video series. So that is why we will be doing a chapter a day instead. But more than that, what is the Bible? That is what I want to find out. It is the book I want to go through one day and one chapter at a time. But I do know this. God is real. God is faithful. The Bible is God's Word. His Word shows us who we are with Him, and what we are on our own. God has a plan, and God's Word is true. John chapter 1 and verses 1 and 2 says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. It was with God in the beginning." Different translations often give a slightly different flavor or feel to the text. In J.B. Phillips' New Testament translation of John chapter 1 verses 1 through 5, it says, "At the beginning God expressed Himself." That personal expression, that Word, was with God and was God. And He existed with God from the beginning. All creation took place through Him, and none took place without Him. In Him appeared life, and this life was the light of mankind. The light still shines in the darkness, and the darkness has never put it out. Just food for thought. And I also believe that the Bible is not only God's Word, but it is also His Word to me. And I expect that what He has to tell me continuously points to His Son, Jesus, His persistent goodness, and His endless love for those who look for Him. And I take His Word seriously. In the book Isaiah chapter 55 and verse 11 it says, "It is the same with my Word. I send it out, and it always produces fruit. It will accomplish all I want it to, and it will prosper everywhere I send it." So join me as I will read the Bible a chapter a day, internalizing what I have read and highlighting a verse that speaks to me. It is a simple Bible reading plan. I'm not a preacher, philosopher, or theologian, just a guy wanting to experience the Bible and keep it simple. Hopefully I will inspire you to do the same. It should be a journey that will take about 3¼ years to complete, and it will be fun as we discover the Word a small piece at a time. Word.